I'm Gage. I'm from Wyoming. And I run track and field.
I'm Mia. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I play field hockey.
Towards the top of the circle. Big windup and the shot goes through. Mia Abello. The freshman strikes for the 4th of her career.
I'm McCabe Millon. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I play lacrosse.
Millon gets in front. Unbelievable. His 4th of the day.
I'm Alex Schneider. I'm from Manhasset, New York, and I play lacrosse.
I'm Victoria Safradin. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I play soccer.
So our first question for today is, what has the transition from high school been like in terms of athletics and academics?
I would say for me the biggest transition, I don't know about you guys, was just like the difference with time management. For the fall for my sport is out of season, but even then, like trying to get settled as a first year and trying to figure out like the best ways to go about doing my work and managing my time and trying to work out as much as possible. It was definitely a different jump from high school, and then in the spring it's definitely been a much more significant commitment to the stuff outside too, whether it's watching film on your own or trying to get into the training room and take care of your body. So I just think the biggest difference is just the time management and trying to be as effective as possible with that, and really capitalizing on your free time when you do end up getting it.
I also think like prioritizing the time you have for yourself is really important, especially like playing lacrosse. You're always surrounded by a team. I think it's really important to like take time for yourself, be able to like reflect on the day that you had and like challenge yourself to be better the next day.
Coming off of that, what would you say is the biggest challenge of coming from high school and transitioning to college?
I'd say that in high school you obviously put a focus both on academics and athletics, so you try to balance it equally, but at the college level, especially at a prestigious school like UVA, it's just the academic focus needs to be taken up a notch, and same with the athletic. For those that want to play professional, like I want to play professional, I got to put a focus on both 100% as much as I can. So I'd say that'd be the biggest.
I'd also say with that is higher standards. So you go from college or high school to college, everything you do should be at a greater standard. Academics, athletics. I mean, you're meeting new people as well. You want to take care of those relationships. But putting 100, like Victoria said, putting 110% everything you do.
Did those standards meet your expectations, or did anything surprise you about where your standards are, like academically, within your sport?
I would say athletically, it's been really exciting to have really high standards, teammates that push you, like-minded individuals that want the best for you. That's been really good, as well as coaches. I think that they push you as well, and there's a lot of support here, academically, athletically. People want to help you, it's just about reaching out. So if you put yourself out there, you're going to get the help you need. But the standards are definitely high. I don't know if that answered the question.
I think one thing going off that standards piece is being able to balance not setting too high standards for yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously trying to shoot to be great and achieve as much as you can, but if you're trying to be perfect in every practice or on every test or every assignment or whatever it is, at some point if you fall below that benchmark, you got to be able to keep moving and get through that, as opposed to feeling down on yourself. So I think being able to understand that, especially playing at a high level at school here, you're gonna have a bad practice, you're gonna have a bad game, make a bad play. I think it's just really important not to focus too much on that. Just move forward and stay focused on the outcome as a whole, as opposed to each individual piece.
Yeah, 100%.
To that pieces point, how do you manage your priorities? What percent of your time goes to school, sport, things outside of school and sport, social life? How is that divided up, would you say?
For me, I'd say that during the week, I try to put majority of my focus into both school and soccer. And then the weekends, I'd say I try to purposely do my work so that I can relax on the weekends, because like if you don't relax, that's just for mental health, like you need to. It's just you need to find a balance in everything you do in order to make sure that you're like gonna be 100% on the next day. So.
Yeah, I'd say like school and sports. We're student athletes, so the student part's supposed to go first. But sometimes it really depends on if you're in season or out of season. But sometimes that athletics takes really a hold of your life, but I think the trick is to just balance them when they come. So if you have like a big meet, like for me coming up, you need to focus more on academics going up to the meet, so then you have it taken care of, and then you can focus on the meet.
Sweet. What do you think is the biggest advantage in making the decision to play sports at the collegiate level?
I think you get to meet a lot of great people who are like-minded with you. They don't even have to be like within the same sport as you, or it doesn't matter if they're a coach or not. I think that like people can inspire you from all different kinds of sports, and I think it's like incredible to be at a university where everyone is so talented. No matter if you're a student athlete, a coach here, like you're able to learn so much every single day, and I think that's a huge advantage with all the connections you're able to have.
Yeah, and also like going off of that, I feel like choosing like to come to a college, you know you're gonna be in like a similar spot as different like people who are the same age as you, same year and all of that. So when you're struggling, you know that you have people like around you that relate to you in every sense, especially with student athletes. Like I can go to other people that I've met on other teams and go to them talk about my problems just to like, you know, as like a coping way. So just knowing that you have a lot of people that can understand you is really nice to have.
I think like another piece is like the experience of, you know, being able to do things that you might otherwise not have been able to do, whether it's, you know, traveling to a bunch of different universities to play games, or being able to like be in some of the facilities that we have at the university here. Like I think like some of those experiences are really cool that you might not have been able to get otherwise. So you know, in addition to important relationships and having people there to talk about problems or whatever, like just, you know, some of like the cool life experiences I think are really unique and definitely a benefit of pursuing collegiate athletics.
I think also you walk in with like friends automatically, and like even bigger than friends, like almost like sisters for my lacrosse team. Like, you know, everyone has your back and everyone's there for you no matter what, and I think that's a huge advantage. You're not really walking into it blind, like you have people behind you and like right next to you to help you through it.
This is a bit of a divergence of a question, but did you play any other sports in high school? If so, do you think that your experiences in other sports helped in your specialized sport that you're pursuing here now?
I Nordic skied actually in high school. I did other sports too, but I think that one's kind of unique, so I'll talk about that.
Yeah,
I mean, so that kind of helped just like race mentality, things like race and track and field too. But I think that was really just a lot of, it got really cold and we're just out there, you know, like a uniform. And then I had like all my friends on that team. I mean, obviously that helped with my like aerobic endurance and whatnot, but more than that, I think it was just about discipline, just because a lot of times I wouldn't want to get out there and like it was really cold to ski, but yeah.
My next question is, how did you prepare yourself mentally and physically to come to UVA to pursue your athletic career? And if you were to go back now, knowing what you know, was there anything that you would change in your preparation?
I'd say just like putting yourself in a similar environment before you get to college in order to be able to replicate like what the college level is going to be like. So like for example, like I played club soccer, and I think that my club environment really prepared me for like being here at UVA, both like academically and athletically, because my coaches like put a large focus on being good in school and being good on the field and just having good habits. So I'd say just like making sure that you're putting yourself in the right environment to get you ready for the big stages.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with all that, and also just like really nailing down the fundamentals I think in high school. So like rest and nutrition and stuff, like just really the simple but hard things sometimes. I think if you get like those foundational things, then you can tackle the rest of the small countless other things you have to do.
What do you hope to accomplish or experience during your time at UVA?
I think for me, most importantly, it's about enjoying the moment and being around the people that will make us better. Really like taking it all in, taking advantage of our opportunities, and like learning from every year when we first get here. I know for me, like you may come with adversity, but you're gonna like push through it and keep learning from it. And I think college is such a special time, and people, I mean, looking like your parents, they talk about those years, right? So just making sure that we can do what we can to enjoy it on and off the field.
I'd say like maybe not like necessarily an accomplishment, but just being able to look back like without regrets, and knowing that 4 years is going to go by pretty fast, and there's not going to be a chance, like even professionally, like playing your sport, like when you're here and you're living with all your friends and you're seeing them every day, and that's just going to be a little bit different than any other environment for any of our sports. So I think just being able to look back, come graduation, and know that like didn't leave anything on the table, like had as much fun as possible, like met as many good people, accomplished as much as possible, and I'm just not going to regret wishing going to another workout or doing anything like that.
I think like leaving a positive impact, like being someone that people are able to talk about when you leave, not only as a player but as a person, that people like aspire to act like or be like off the field. I think that's something I hope to accomplish while I'm here.
Next up, how do you maintain motivation and drive, especially during those challenging moments?
I'd say just thinking about the long-term goal on what you have. Like personally for me, I want to play at the highest level and just be as successful as possible. So like in those hard times, just thinking like, oh, this is part of the process. Like you're not going to be going like up every time. Like you're going to face challenges and obstacles that you're going to have to face and get through, but just remind yourself that it's all part of the process and it's going to be all worth it in the end. So.
Yeah, I'd also say with that, just remembering your why, right? In the hardest moments, like why are you doing this? Making sure that your why is important to you and motivating your teammates as well.
I'd say like how much time management matters, and I feel like that feeds into your like future like adult life as well. Like time management is key in everything you do, but especially like right now how we're all having to balance like school and sports, and with traveling constantly, it reminds you that you really need to stay on top of your stuff all the time, just knowing that you have a lot of like priorities in front of you. So
yeah, I'd also add like working towards like a big goal, like as a group. As in team sports, like it's really easy to rally behind like one idea, and whether that be a national championship or an ACC championship or whatever it is, like I think that's something that's really unique to athletics in general, and having a whole group unified behind like one idea is like a really good life lesson that you can take in your corporate life or whatever that might be.
I think overall being like appreciative of every day, like it's not given, like we worked really hard to get to this point, but I think it's like the battle of continuing to work hard and like push yourself to work harder every day. That is definitely like a really unique experience. Like you are forced to put yourself in uncomfortable positions every day and continue to get better alongside a group. I think that's really unique.
I think an important thing for incoming student athletes is remembering when you get there to have the same confidence you've had going into high school, going into club, whatever that may be, because you are also there to help the team and you're there for a reason. They recruited you there. So making sure that, it's a new atmosphere, it's a new environment, it's new relationships, but you are there to help the team get to that better goal to grow together. So.
I'd also say like having faith that like you're gonna find your group, like, and coming in and not trying to put on like a facade for trying to fit into any specific like group or whatever on the team, or you know, people that you're gonna meet. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna find your people, and there's no point in trying to put on a phony, like, you know, whatever it is, and just trust that at the end of the day you're gonna find the right people, and you're gonna be happier that way as opposed to, you know, finding some group that you're not even really like, you're just kind of acting that way.
Yeah, and going off of that, I'd say just like knowing and reminding yourself that everything will work out in the end, like everything will be okay, because like personally for me, I was nervous coming in just because it's a new environment and you're basically having to start from zero, like having to make new friends and like being on a new team and all of that. So just reminding yourself that everything like happens for a reason, and in the end it'll all work out. Just give it time. So.